Hey guys, what is up? This is Matthew Davis, me once again. Welcome back to another video game review. So, before I start this video, be warned, there's going to be some uncensored cursing. I did have some uncensored cursing back then, but if you're offended by that, then you're probably not going to watch this video. But anyways, let's get to a video game review. This time it's going to be on Angry Video Game Nerd Adventures. Now, I wasn't too sure if I wanted to play this because I've heard things that this game is really, really difficult. But I'm a fan of the Angry Video Game Nerd, and I really wanted to play this game for a while now. It came out in 2013, so I bought it on Steam on PC for $5. Surprisingly, I was able to beat the game. So, I'm going to talk about it. So, in this game, you play as the angry video game nerd who gets trapped inside a shitty game. And he's very aware that he's in a shitty game, okay? From there, he has to go through 8 or 9, I think 9 different worlds, okay? Leading all the way up to Laugh and Joke and Numbnuts, so he can get out. From there, you go through a bunch of different worlds with very vulgar names, and from there, you have to basically play as the nerd, and from there, you can actually play as other characters too, like the Bullshit Man, Mike, and the dead guy that sings, the Angry Video Game Nerd theme song. So, I had a lot of fun playing this game, okay? It's a very self-aware game too, like, the nerd knows he's in a shitty game, and he really just really isn't having fun with it, okay? Of course, he actually reviewed the game himself on his, video about Angry Video Game Nerd Fan Games. This is the official game, however. It's also available on Wii U, and there's also a sequel to the game, which might actually even be harder. But, knowing that I was able to beat this one, it's not a very long game. Minus all the deaths, it takes about like 2 hours to beat because there are only 9 different stages. There are 9 different bosses. There's a boss at the end of each stage, so it's kind of like Mega Man, if it were M-rated. And there's a lot of cursing in this. Every time you die, you see an AVGN quote like "I'd rather eat the shit out of whatever," and it's hilarious. Okay, the game did make me angry a bit because for one thing, there are a lot of hazards in this, and the biggest one includes death blocks, and you're gonna die from the death blocks a lot, okay? Like, every time you know they're there, it's still really hard to avoid them. And each level gets frustrating as it goes on, okay? Also, the music in this game is incredible, okay? They did a great job with the music, okay? I was tapping to the beat every time, and, oh my god, the music was just so good, and it was a joy to listen to, and it totally made up for all the deaths that happened to me. And funny thing, there's actually an easy, a normal, and a hard mode. But, easy doesn't really mean easy. It just means you got unlimited lives, and you get 6 spears, which is your health, which makes a lot of sense. Also, once in a while, the game will break the 4th wall, like when you get these rocks, and you throw them, the AVGN's like, oh, this weapon sucks, because, it goes in an arc just like the rock in the Friday the 13th game on NES. Not to mention, this game is hilarious too. Once in a while, the nerd will, if you go into idle animation, if you don't do anything, the nerd will just flip you off. It's hilarious. And even the end credits, this game has a lot of cursing too, just like the nerd does in his videos. And, the game is really violent, and for a retro style shooter, it would not, work back in, the 80s or whenever the NES came out. Yeah, it was the 80s. But, I just had so much fun with this game. The controls were really, really tight. And, one thing the nerd is happy with is that you can shoot in any direction you want if you just lock down. And, honestly, the final boss of this game was really, really tough and probably took the longest time for me. And there were points of the game where I just wanted to give up, but, I was able to get through. And all in all, I had a lot of fun with it. All in all, if you're a fan of the Angry Video Game Nerd and you're a fan of really super difficult games, then I recommend playing this game. I was able to beat it in a day. I was about to say in a gay, what the hell? But, I had so much fun with it. It's definitely not a perfect game, but, all in all, for a game based off a very popular YouTube series, I can say this is definitely the best out of all of them. I'm going to give Angry Video Game Nerd Adventures a 4 out of 5. So yeah, play it if you're a fan of the nerd or hardcore gaming. Definitely play this one. I might check out the sequel too. It might be just as difficult for me, but I know I could just rate it a 1 because it's supposed to be a shitty game, but honestly, I can't see myself calling this a shitty game if I had fun with it. I had a great time with it. So yeah, the nerd's got a movie, and he's got a video game. And I know it came out like 7 years ago, but I finally got a chance to play it, and I had fun with it. And I never thought I would actually beat it. That's actually why I'm reviewing this game, because, you know, I suck at really difficult games, but I'm glad I was able to beat this one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Word out.